So if you were to rank the different engineering majors, who would you put at the bottom and who would you put at the top?
I am not going to do that.
Hi, I'm Max Williams, and I'm an ambassador for the College of Engineering, currently a senior in aerospace engineering. I'm here with Dr. Morris, and why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I'm a professor in electrical and computer engineering. I am also our department's eminent scholar in computer engineering, and I'm also the director of the Center for Cybersecurity Research and Education.
How long have you been at UAH?
I've been at UAH about 8 years. Before that, I was a professor at Mississippi State for 7, and then before that, I was at Texas Instruments for 17 years.
Very cool. We'll start off with the easy question. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee?
So I like my coffee black. I also, the question I get a lot because I like to go to coffee shops because I run, and a lot of times we run and then we go for breakfast or whatever after, and they always ask me room for cream. I don't want room for cream. I want all the coffee I can get because I need it to stay awake all day.
Very good. Well, we'll start off with research opportunities. We talked about that a little bit briefly before we started. So why don't you just expand on that a little bit?
Okay, so the center here is quite large. We're one of the largest research centers on the campus. So I'm the director, but there's 42 other people working, doing all kinds of projects. And so we actually have a program called the Cyberforce Incubator, where we hire UAH students that are interested in cybersecurity from a lot of different degrees, by the way. Computer engineering, yes. Cybersecurity engineering, electrical engineering, industrial and systems engineering. We've hired mechanical engineers before, computer science and industrial systems, information systems. And so we have about, right now, 85 students on staff. And those students do a variety of things. We probably have 20 active research projects in the center. We have students on every single one of them. We also have students placed out on the arsenal and in a few cases at company locations, just under the supervision of someone at that location, like for the Army or for a company. And so they technically work for us, but out there writing code or whatever the project is. So we have a lot of opportunity, and we love to hear from students and get their resumes because unfortunately students always graduate and then we lose our best employees, and so we want more.
Very good. When we came in here, you were wrapping up an interview for your scholarship for service. We heard that you are the lead on that. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that too?
Yes, so Scholarship for Service and the DoD Cybersecurity Scholarship Program are two awesome scholarships for students interested in a cybersecurity career. So the students get a 2-year scholarship for a bachelor's or a master's or a 3-year scholarship for a PhD. Not only do you get a full scholarship, all your books paid, but you also get a salary. So they get between $25,000 and $34,000 a year salary, depending on what type of, if you're undergrad or grad and which of those scholarships you get. In exchange for that, the students have to work for government as an intern one time and then after graduation. So we actually, not only do you get to get all that money and scholarship, but then we help you find a job. And so you get you get access to my Rolodex or my network because I help you find a job in Huntsville or all over the country at agencies that just over time really have learned to love UAH graduates. And so it's really not me. I just know all their names and numbers. It's all the UAH graduates before you that have impressed them. So.
Awesome. What classes are you currently teaching slash have you taught on campus?
So right now I'm teaching computer engineering 426, 526, which is VLSI design and so VLSI hardware description languages and simulation. It's a mouthful of a name. I don't normally teach that. I used to do that for a living at TI, Texas Instruments, and so I stepped in when we needed an instructor. But normally I teach cybersecurity classes. I love to teach intro to cybersecurity engineering. I also teach a lot SCADA. It's called systems security, which is actually we do a lot of SCADA security, which is a special topic in the area. And then I've taught our cybersecurity capstone as well before.
So in your intro class, you obviously get to meet a lot of the younger students. Whenever you're kind of meeting them, what are some of the most successful students doing that kind of stands out among the rest?
Not waiting till the last minute to study. So I like my classes to have, I feel like engineering, probably in general, we like homework problems. You know, I hated calculus homework. It's like do the same thing over and over again 10 times. Whereas most engineering, I feel like, or at least the engineering degrees I have, it was much more a problem solving, you know. And so in cybersecurity, that turns into go write code to do this thing, like hash this file or write code to monitor this network or something. And so the successful students start doing that on day 1 or day 2, not day 27. Because I just notice as a professor, you know, my inbox fills up 2 days before anything is due because and the questions are like the 2 weeks before I'm like, does anyone have a question about that? Silence. Or one person's asking a question. And that's usually the person getting an A, right? So that's the main thing. And just doing your homework in general.
Yeah.
If you keep up with that, you're keeping up with what the professor wants you to know.
Yeah. Are you involved in industry or research right now outside of teaching?
Why, yes, I am. So I'm director of the Center for Cybersecurity Research and Education. And so we're a center with 42 research staff. And so we work with the Army, the National Security Agency, NIST. We work with the Army Corps of Engineers, and I'm leaving a lot out, a lot of companies. And a lot of that is they bring problems that they have to us, and we work to, you know, solve the problem and write code to, you know, implement some solution for them. So, yeah, I'm always busy. 90% of my job really is external, working with industry or government, mostly government, but on cybersecurity things.
Very cool. Do you have any hobbies or anything you like to do outside of teaching and research? And you seem like very busy, but you know, when you have free time.
I have a couple of hobbies. I run, so I run about 50 miles a week. So I get up early in the morning and I run and run. My newest hobby, one of my friends was a professor when I was at Mississippi State. He moved here and got me into vertical caving. So we rappel into pit caves and then climb our way out, which is also super cool. I've only done that 4 times so far, but we went on Montesano to the bottom of a 180-foot drop. So we just rappelled into this giant hole in the ground and then explored down at the bottom. That was cool. And then if you're 21 or older, I also brew my own beer.
Might have to talk to you about that after. Very cool. So if you were to rank the different engineering majors, who would you put at the bottom and who would you put at the top?
I am not going to do that. I'm not going to insult the other engineering majors. I put cybersecurity engineering at the top because it's the most fun. I put computer engineering second because I did that for a living at TI, and cybersecurity and computer overlap a lot, and I have an electrical engineering degree that I gain more appreciation for every day, but that one was more homework than I liked. Not homework, it was just computer engineering and cybersecurity is very hands-on writing code. Electrical, you're doing a lot of mathematics. I felt like calculus was repeated in every class I took in electrical engineering, just modeling some other part, some other system, whether it's communications or antennas or whatever. Whereas computer engineering and cyber, it's much more writing code. I liked that a lot better. But I like some of the things you can do with that math and electrical, so it's a nice mix.
Do you have any advice at all for students coming to college, thinking about picking an engineering major?
Well, come to UAH because all the jobs are here. And so you can get an internship here as a freshman, maybe after your freshman year, whereas I've seen other people at schools super highly ranked in U.S. News and stuff that they're off in some small town somewhere and it's just much harder to get that job. So if you want to engage and start practicing your trade, UAH is a great place for it. And then, I mean, y'all already know that because this is 2 UAH students, but the other thing is get a job. Get an internship, whether it's just in the summer, working 10 hours a week, whatever. When you graduate and you're trying to get the full-time job, the experience on your resume is what opens the door. But when you're a freshman or a sophomore and you have no experience on your resume, no one expects you to have it. But when you're graduating, they expect you to have it already. So your friends can leave you behind in the 4 years of college if you don't go get an internship. Your grades are important, so don't sacrifice them. But if you can do both, which the best way to do both is intern in the summer, do it because you don't want to get left behind.
Awesome. Well, are we going to see you at the E-Week showcase?
Yes, you
Yeah.
will see me at the showcase.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Dr. Morris. I think we're about to wrap it
All
up.
right, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to say?